everybody, welcome back to Ask Eve. On today's show, we have a man who is a DJ. He's spinning some incredible beats out there. That's the whole reason why I found him. We'll get into that in a little bit, but he's also an actor who's been on shows such as Home Alone, A Bronx Tale, and HBO's The Leftovers. So I want to say thank you for joining us today, Law Michael Sullivan, a.k.a. Sully. How are you?
I'm well, Eve. How are you?
Very, very good. I'm going to let people know the way I found Sully was I happen to see a live feed on Facebook, and oftentimes I will click those because I'm curious. And there was this music that was being pumped, and it was really cool. I was, really excited about the sound and all of that, and I thought, this guy might be interesting for our So You Want to Be a Celebrity segment, which is what we're working on right now. But you're also a disc jockey and you're an actor. Now tell me, how did you get to be a disc jockey? What got you started there?
Well, basically, it all started about 9 years old. Living in New York, I used to listen to, hip-hop artists like DJ Red Alert, Kid Capri, and what fascinated me was the scratching, and, I got into it like that and, been doing it ever since.
Yeah, now, that was something that I've watched a few of your vids now, and using the equipment, that in and of itself, I've known DJs for a long time, but I never really watched somebody use the keyboard, or not the keyboard, but the turntables and
right.
all that. And there's a real art and a real technique to it.
Yeah, there's so much you can do with equipment. I treat my equipment more than DJ equipment. I look at it as basically instrument, And you get so creative with it, it's just unbelievable. I go back and forth. I use the turntables and I can use controllers as well. But I originated on turntables,
Your look today reminds me of Vin Diesel.
Okay. All right.
That's a compliment.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about your acting career. You're an actor in the Texas area currently. Right. And what got you started into that?
Basically, a friend of mine, introduced me to acting, and I was about 14 years old, mm-hmm. and he invited me to go down with him to go see his agent because he had a read he had to do. So I came along, tagged along, and the casting agent looked at me and said, "What would you like to read?" And I was like, okay. So I went ahead and read, and they loved me, and I had a casting agent there, and just did different films, commercials. About 19 years old, I did Bronx Tale, Home Alone. I was in that.
Now, what did you do on Home Alone? Were you background?
I was actually that skater. I don't know if you watched it really closely, but at Home Alone 1, in the skating rink, you see Macaulay Culkin sliding, through the across the skating rink while the two burglars were trying to get him. I was the one doing the 360 on the skate.
Oh,
right there.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I've only watched that movie a gazillion times because that was my daughter's favorite movie when she was a child. So
right.
It was a nonstop playing at my household. But so what types of things do you normally get cast for?
It varies. I like, pretty much, either a SWAT or an action figure or, something with action, drama, action-packed. Right now I'm currently on a film. It's called the John Shaft, which is I got a lot of lines in that.
Yeah.
Lines. I'm doing a supporting role for Robert Rodriguez. he has a new movie coming out, and I got a supporting role in that. That shoots Monday. I did a commercial about a week ago, an oncology commercial. Oncology. That was good. That was fun. I have an agent. You know, I got one of the top agents here in Texas.
Yeah. So how did you get hooked up with your agent? Do you
actually? He reached out to me. Actually.
Oh, wow.
I was amazed because this is one of the agencies where you may try 3-4 times to get with them, and you'll get if you don't have you're not on your A game, you're gonna get turned down. And apparently he saw something in me that he wanted to interview me, and but a week later, once he interviewed me, I was on board.
That's super cool. Did you now I noticed on your resume that you had listed that you've taken some improv training. Was that a do-it-yourself course? Did you go someplace special for improv?
Yeah, I went to a place called the New School. It's the same place where I took audio engineering. It's in New York.
Nice.
So yeah.
And what types of games did they have you play at the improv studio?
Oh, what didn't they show us? I mean, we went from just basically pretty much like a free-for-all. They weren't really diction and just different methods of acting.
Yeah.
I don't really use anybody's method. I use my own. I mean, so what works for me, and just it's really it. But improv is really fun,
Yeah.
There's not too much pressure there, it's free for all, and you're not reading cold readings or anything like that. It's great.
I would have to say, directly to my viewers here, if you're looking at getting into acting, it is highly important to get some type of training. And improv training, I think, would be by far one of the best forms of training that you can endure, because you will use that a lot. Even as a background talent, you will still use your improv training.
Correct.
Improv, I studied at Second City in Detroit, and it was a great experience. But what it mostly did was taught me to trust the other actors that I worked with on stage. It taught me how to be very fast on my feet and how to be able to react quickly to things.
All right.
That you just, in improv, you don't have time to think about stuff. And the biggest thing is like getting out of my head, being worried about making an ass out of myself. Now I do it for a living, and I'm absolutely happy with that. So it doesn't, there's a lot involved in training, and for new talent that's getting on board. And I don't care if you're, 15 or you're 55, you have to have some kind of training in order for you to be effective, whether that is on film or on stage. So, it's great that you took some of that. So what was your favorite role, or what was your favorite movie that you worked on?
The Bronx Tale, working with Robert De Niro. I grew up with Robert De Niro's son. So, that helped me get on the film, you know what I mean? And they lived out in Tribeca, I lived out in Queens. Just, we separated. We went our own different ways. We had some differences, so nothing I really want to mention, but it was fun working with Robert. He's very, very how would you say it? He's very I don't know. He's very serious about his
oh, right.
action. Yeah.
Yeah, those are
my role was a tough guy. I played a tough guy.
Did
I
you?
don't know if you I played a couple scenes.
How old were you when you?
I was 19. 19.
19. Wow.
Yeah.
And then, how did you land that gig? I mean, you don't get to work with just any buddy, you got to work with one of the best in the business.
Yeah, it was Silver Faye Casting. It was through Silver Faye. And, I was speaking to Robert, and, he was telling me, he's got a film coming out. And this was way months before, before it was even in production. And, said, you would fit the part for one of the characters that I'm looking for, but, you don't have an agent right now,
and he needed you to be.
Yeah, I needed to take the necessary steps. You just can't. He can't just hire you off the street. And
right.
No matter how.
Even Robert De Niro could not do that because there are steps that.
Correct.
Has to be taken in order for you to work on films with A-lister.
Oh yeah.
And same thing with union versus non-union. If you're working on a film that is a unioned film, they have requirements that have to be met by SAG-AFTRA, as well as sometimes the state, sometimes the other unions like the filmmakers unions, the cameramen and all that stuff. So people forget about these things. When they're watching a movie or they're thinking about becoming an actor, they don't realize it's a big business and there is a lot of steps that have to be met in order for people to be able to work in the film industry.
Yeah, you got to pay your dues. You gotta
pay. I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, you got to pay your dues.
Because you don't. What are you now? How old are you now? Like 27?
No way. I'm 41.
Shut the fuck up. I mean, seriously.
I'm telling you.
Okay, well, I thought you were about 27 years old.
Well, thank you.
So that's cool. So 41 years old. So you've been around for a while because you've been acting since 14.
Yeah.
And you are so right when you say you have to pay your dues. Talent, I got to tell you, that is absolutely 100% true. If you don't land a role in your first year or two of acting, don't sweat it.
Yeah, you're going to get rejected no matter what. The best get rejected.
Exactly.
I mean, even A-list actors get rejected. Don't get it twisted.
That's true.
They do,
it's true. And it's, you have to remember that with every production that you work on to take some type of experience away. To know like you've learned something because you've been there. So there's no small roles. There's only small actors, as they say. Background talent to me is a super important element to making a film of any kind, even a commercial. So you have to take pride in the work that you're doing, but you also have to remember that it takes time to get somewhere.
Of course, yeah. And for those actors out there, that have gone to auditions and you feel rejected. I mean, 9 times out of 10, it's not you. 9 times out of 10, it has nothing to do with you personally.
Right.
It has to do with what they're looking for. Are you too short? You're too big. You look better than the lead. I mean, it's just different things, and don't take it personal because it's not you.
Not you.
It's just how it is. So.
Now, when you go and are you auditioning still for things? Do you have to?
Yeah.
How are they doing it nowadays? Are they?
Pretty much, my agent calls me and just tells me if I want to do a certain project, and I'll go out and sometimes audition, and sometimes I don't.
So, is there a theme? Like, because I've worked in Texas, in Louisville. I've shot commercials there, and I've worked with talent there. But because I was traveling from out of state to there, I didn't really get a chance to audition people a whole lot for the roles. Right. But So how is the format going? Like, what happens when you get to an audition? You check in, you do a slate, and then...
Yeah, basically you check in, you do a slate. If you don't have your lines memorized, you may have a cold read. It depends. You just go in there and, you go in and out. Sometimes it could take 2 minutes, then 15 minutes. It just varies.
Yeah.
I've been in there where I've been only in there for like 4 minutes. I'm in and out.
And nobody is doing. Are you doing Skype auditions?
Yeah, I occasionally do Skype auditions. Yeah, if the production is like, there's a cast like somewhere like out in California and I can't make it for the audition.
Yeah.
I'll do a Skype. Or a video audition.
What possessed you to move to Texas?
Well, actually,
is there a lot of film? It looks like you're getting gigs. So, is there a lot of film?
Getting gigs? I didn't really come here pretty much for the acting career. I came here because I had an aunt that lived here. I was living in Miami for about 15 years, and I was doing a lot of acting out there. And my aunt called me, and I'm sorry?
I said, not these days.
Yeah.
Filmed.
Yeah, it's washed up over there. Trust me.
Yeah, right, exactly.
California, Florida, it's a washed up. But as I was saying, I had an aunt that lived here in Austin, Texas, and she called me. She wasn't feeling really good. She was pretty much ill, and she asked me at the time, if I could come down. She'll pay for my ticket to come down and take care of her, and I did, Did that for a few months, and I ended up liking it here and just saw different opportunities in acting, and just ended up moving. So
now, one thing I think that's really interesting about Texas is everything, and I mean everything is big. It's enormous.
Oh yeah. Like they say, big things in Texas. Correct.
Yeah. I was, restaurants. There was no small restaurants. Like everything was like just this enormous building, and they bring you a drink, and it was like as big as my head, and it was like I don't know what the fascination is about big, but bigger is better over there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know anything about Texas when to me, it was cowboys and Indians,
Yeah.
Raised in New York, born in North Hollywood, California. Texas was my idea of cowboys and Indians,
Yeah.
You go over there and you see a New Yorker, they'll be like, oh, time to get a rope, You know that saying.
Yeah.
You're from New York, get a rope.
What does your future look like? What are you wanting to do for the future?
Just basically keep doing what I'm doing, network, just do both my passions, DJing and acting. And, I've been doing both and I'm happy and I couldn't be more happier, I'm not, striving to be union, I'm actually SAG eligible. Been that since I was 19. I just, pretty much just have fun with it, man, and, for those actors, just have fun with it, Nice. You got a passion, go for it, Just don't let anything, stop you, and just keep doing it because it's going to pay off eventually.
Very cool. Well, you know what? I think that this has been an awesome opportunity to be able to talk to you and to get to know you a little bit better. And, of course, we love the fact that you have a bandana over your head. It's so mysterious. But anyways, it has been very, very good. Now, if somebody wants to get a hold of you for an acting gig, we'll make sure that we put the information up on the screen. But how would somebody get a hold of you if they wanted to hire you?
Basically, you go through my agent, which is Acclaim Talent, Austin, Texas.
Okay, Acclaim.
Acclaim, Facebook, if you want to inbox me. I have a DJ page as well. I go to DJLS. You'll find me there. You can find me on YouTube, DJLS.
Check out his music, folks. It's awesome.
Instagram. I mean, I'm in there, SoundCloud. Great. I'm actually top 10 right now on Reverb Nation. On top 10 on Reverb Nation as for my mixes. Way cool.
All right, well listen, I appreciate you coming on today and joining us. Everybody, if you are out there looking to get your name known, you want to be on the Ask Eve show, please feel free to visit me at askeve.org. You can also check me out on Instagram and Snapchat at AskEve. And on top of it, I want to thank my sponsors today at Zoom.us for putting together these programs. And Vibram 5 Fingers Shoes. You guys know I love you. I love you. I love you a lot. Anyways, until later, I am out.
Thank you, Eve. It was a pleasure.
My pleasure as well. Take care.